So, good afternoon everyone. My name is Eileen Ginagin. I'm the Group 11 reporter, and my topic is all about administering compensation. Compensation may be used to recruit and retain qualified employees, increase or maintain moral satisfaction, reward and encourage peak performance, achieve internal and external equity, reduce turnover and encourage company loyalty, modified through negotiation practices of onions. Compensation is the tool used by management for a variety of purposes to further extensive company. Compensation, the money received by an employee from an employer as a salary wages. Recruitment and retention of qualified employees is a common goal shared by many employees. To some extent, the availability cost of qualified applicants for open position is determined by market factors beyond the control of the employer. Recruit and retain qualified employees. To retain your best talent, your organization needs to constantly recruit internally to energize them. Moral and job satisfaction are affected by compensation. Often there is balanced equity that must be reached between the monetary value the employer is willing to pay and the sentiments of worth felt to be employee. For example, give them opportunities, recognize employee, lead by example, pay your employee as their job. The next one is compensation, may also used for a reward for exceptional job performance. Example of such plans include bonuses, commission, stock, profit, sharing gain and sharing gain sharing. What are the components of compensation? Compensation will be received by employees as fair if based on systematic components. Various compensation systems have developed to determine the value of position. This system utilizes many similar components, including job description, salary ranges, and structure, and written procedure. First is job description, a critical component of both compensation and selection system. The description, defined in writing, the responsibility, requirements, function, duties, location, environment condition, and aspect of job. Job, des- job, de- job description means refers to the process of determining the duties, responsibility, and specification of a given job. Job evaluation is a system for comparing jobs for the purposes of determining appropriate compensation level for individual job or job elements. Job description is related to job that you have and also duties and responsibility in that organization. Job analysis, the process of analyzing job from which job description are developed. Job analysis technique include the use of interview, questionnaire, and observation. Job, e- Job evaluation is the process of comparing job against other job within the organization to determine appropriate pay rate. 4 is pay structure, useful for standardizing compensation practices as pay. Include several grades which each containing a minimum salary or wages and either step increment of grade range. Pay structure, it means to pay a job rules based upon the value of the business. And effectiveness in the job role. And the last one is salary survey. Collection salary and market data may include average salaries, pocketing indicator, cost of living indicator, salary budget. Companies may purchase result of survey conducted by survey inventors or may conduct their salary survey.
Good day, everyone. My name is Liza Joyce Liabes, your reporter for today. I'll be discussing the different types of compensation. Number 1. Base pay. It's the initial salary paid to an employee, not including benefits, bonuses, or raises. It is the rate of compensation an employee receives in exchange for services. An employee's base pay can be expressed in hourly rate or as a weekly, monthly, or annual salary. Number 2. Commission. Refers to the compensation. It includes whatever base salary an employee receives, along with the other types of payment that accrue during the course of their work, which paid to an employee after completing a task, which is often selling a certain number of products or services. Number 3. Overtime pay. Refers to the additional pay for work performed in excess of 8 hours a day. Number 4. Bonuses, profit sharing, or merit pay. Bonuses are compensation for employees for work performed. They are paid in addition to salary or wages. Profit sharing is an arrangement between an employer and an employee in which the employer shares part of its profit with the employee. Merit pay is an approach to compensation that rewards higher performing employees with additional pay, sometimes called incentive pay. Number 5. Stock option. Stock compensation is often used by startup companies since they typically do not have the cash on hand to pay employees competitive rates. Executives and staff may share in the company's growth and profit that way. Number 6. Travel, meal, housing allowance. Travel expenses are expenditures that an employee makes while traveling on company businesses. When employees are frequently tasked to go out in the field or work extra hours, management may decide to give a meal allowance as additional compensation to cover for the additional personal expenses due to the unusual work. The housing allowance is considered compensation for ministerial services. The clergy housing allowance includes housing-related expenses should include the cost of maintaining a home, including mortgage payment, taxes, repairs, insurance, furnishing, utilities, etc. The church must designate the value of the clergy housing allowance in advance. Last one, number 7. Benefits including dental insurance, medical, vacational leaves, retirement, and taxes. Generally, dental policies cover some portion of the cost of preventive care, fillings, crowns, root canals, and oral surgery, such as tooth extraction. Life insurance policy benefits can be used to help pay for final expenses after you pass away. Medical benefits means the monthly fair market value of benefits provided to the employee and the employee's dependents under the major medical, dental, and vision benefits plan sponsored and maintained by the partnership. At the level of coverage and effective for such person immediately prior to the employees. Employees in paid status accrue vacation leave. Paid status is based on work hours. Holiday credit and paid leaves. Many companies offer leave benefits that allow employees to take time off from work for various reasons. Retirement benefits are benefits payable to the member of the pension scheme or retirement or earlier withdrawal from service. Paying the right amount of tax provides with credit rating to the financial institution and agencies. The higher the income and the tax you declare, the higher the credit rating. You can use your good credit rating when getting a loan for additional funds for the expansion of your business or other purposes. Let's move on how to develop a compensation program outline. 1. Set an objective for the program. 2. Designate an individual to oversee designing the compensation program. 3. Develop a compensation philosophy. 4. Conduct a job analysis of all positions. 5. Evaluate jobs. 6. Determine grades. 7. Establish grade pricing and salary range. 8. Determine an appropriate salary structure. 9. Develop a salary administration policy. And lastly, 10. Communication. Communicate the final program of the employees and manager. So that's all. Thank you.
I am Renemy Simompil, the fourth reporter. Today we're going to tackle about the number 10, which is the communicate the final program to employees and managers. Here are the following. Present the plan to the compensation committee for feedback, adjustments, review, and approval. Second, make a presentation to executive staff managers for approval or change and incorporate necessary changes. Third, develop a plan for communicating the new program to employees using slideshow or movies, literature, handouts, and etc. The fourth one is design and develop detailed systems, procedures, and forms. Next, work with HR information system staff to establish effective implementation procedures to develop appropriate data input forms and to create effective monitoring reports for senior managers. Next is have the necessary forms period. Develop and determine format specifications for all reports. Execute test run on the human resources information system. And last, execute the program. The number 11 is monitor the program. How are we going to monitor the program? The first one is monitor feedback from managers. Second, make changes where necessary. And third, find flaws or problems in the program and adjust or modify where necessary. Moving on to the incentive pay, let us talk about incentive pay. It is any factor, financial or non-financial, that enables or motivates a particular course action or counts as a reason or preferring one choice to the alternatives. It is also an expectation that encourages people to behave in a certain way. And ultimately, incentive aims to provide value for money and contribute to organization success. One common and useful taxonomy divides incentives into three broad classes. It is divided into three broad classes. The number one is remunerative incentives, or called as financial incentives. It is said to exist where an agent can expect some form of material reward, especially money in exchange for acting in a particular way. The second is moral incentives. If we're talking about moral incentives, is it said to exist where a particular choice is widely regarded as the right thing to do, or as particularly admirable, or where the failure to act in a certain way is condemned as indecent. And last but not the least is the coercive incentives. It is said to exist where a person can expect that the failure to act in a particular way will result in physical. Thank you so much.
Types of incentives. Straight piece rate. A worker is paid straight for the number of pieces he produces per day. In this plan, quality may suffer. Straight piece rate is a type of wage system which is known as payment by result. In this method of giving wages, wage is offered based on employee's output or by the efficiency of the worker, rather than the time involved in doing the work. The employees that are paid under this system are usually in those in the manufacturing industry. The formula used for this was straight piece rate is equals to the number of units produced multiplied by the wage rate per unit. For example, in a particular clothing business, a small one, the number of units produced by the worker per day is 50, and the wage rate was 15 pesos. So that if a number of units produced, which is 50, multiplied by the 15 pesos, which is the wage rate, the total amount would be 750 pesos. The second one, straight piece rate with a guaranteed base wage. A worker is paid straight for output set by management even if worker produces less than the target level output. Here, the minimum wage is fixed, and if any employer produces more units over and above standard output, he will get wages on the basis of straight piece rate. If the worker exceeds this target output, he or she will be given a wage that direct proportion to the number of pieces produced by him at a straight piece rate. The third one, house plan. The standard time for the completion of a job is fixed, and rate per hour is then determined. If the time taken by a worker is more than the standard time, then he or she shall be paid according to the time rate. In house plan, the time wages are guaranteed even if the output of a worker is below the standard. In case the worker completes in less than the standard time, then he or she will be paid according to the actual time. That is, time rate plus the bonus calculated at a specified percentage at the saved time. Generally, the bonus percentage varies from 30 to 70%. The usual bonus paid to the worker is 15% of the time saved multiplied by the rate per hour, or also known as time rate. The formula uses in the housing plan is time taken multiplied by the rate per hour. Fringe bonus, or also known as fringe benefits, is the various non-wage compensations provided to the employees in addition to their normal wages or salaries. Where an employee exchanges cash wages for some other form of benefit, which is generally referred to as a salary sacrifice or a salary exchange arrangement. Some of these benefits are housing, that is provided or paid by the employer. Group insurance includes health, dental, life, and etc. Disability income protection, retirement benefits, daycare, tuition reimbursement, sick leave, taxation, paid and non-paid, social security, profit sharing, funding of education, and other specialized benefits. The purpose of the benefits is to increase the economic security of its employees. These benefits exist as an addition to compensation that companies gives to their employees. Some benefits are awarded to compensate employees for costs related to their work, while others are geared to general job satisfaction.